People of the internet, welcome back to another edition of Out of the Park Baseball 17 and the Premier League Baseball GM Mode Sim. I am F5 Penguin. You can find me all over Twitter and social media at F5 Penguin. And if you have been keeping up with our GM Mode Sim, you'll know all the videos kind of happen 3 per day at minimum. It was, or at least 2 per day, but mostly 3 per day. And things slowed down over the past 2 days. And there are many reasons for that. Reason number one is we are at the end of the season. So the season ended. And reason two was one of our videos actually got corrupted. We were in between versions of XSplit. I have the new version of XSplit, and there was a big error. I apologize for that. So the actual last sim of the season before the end of the season itself proper got deleted, and it couldn't open the file. I couldn't upload it. It was just a mess, and it was going to take too much time to actually go through it. So instead, yesterday I released another episode of Bad FIFA with Rushpock, and I encourage you, if you want to see some normal guys playing some really terrible FIFA, go check out Bad FIFA. I think you will enjoy it. I have a blast recording it every time that I do. Now, let's catch up with where we are with our team, the Brooklyn Atlantics. The ended the season on a high note, overall abysmal, but on a high note of 36-46. So we went from being almost 9 games back to being 5 games back and coming in third in the division. A lot better than where we started. Now, if we go to our front office and our schedule, we'll go back to September and we will see that look at this string of wins. Look at this. We won 9 straight and won 10 out of 12 and 13 out of 14. Nope, bad math. 10 out of 12 and 13, 11 out of 13, because math. 11 out of 14? I don't know. We won a lot of games in September, and what's important to note here is it's all because of our change. We made that big, what for us is a big blockbuster deal. We got Edgar Cantu, power of 8. And look at this, 7 games. He went 11 for 25, 440, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. If that's not the power we wanted, I don't know what is. And the good news is we have him for another 2 years at the same salary pretty much that we had before with a terrible left fielder. So we definitely upgraded and don't have to hold that contract for 5 seasons. So that is a positive note and something that I am ecstatic about. It's a good way to go into next season. My owner is beyond pissed, but next season we are going to be okay. Here are the stats real quick, just so you can see where we fit. And we finished every category except defensive efficiency in near or dead last place, pretty much. 16 teams, right? So 14th, 13th, 15th, not good. Stolen bases, defensive efficiency, even that tanked because we're changing so many things. So many injuries kind of plagued the team. Now we fast forward. It is November 6th. It is the first day of free agency filings. We have lost 2 members of our team. I don't know if they're actually gone yet. Yes, they are. So we actually lost Chad Smart and Trevor Inselman. And Inselman is not an important player. We didn't really need him. We signed him just for a season because our Espinoza guy was injured and still is. Here are our starting 4 people that are injured: Burleson, Parham, Espinoza, and Grandjean. Grandjean was a huge hole in our team, and that is where the tank started to take place, and we couldn't figure out our pitching. That was also a problem. The pitching is still going to plague us for another season, and I've tried everything during the off season to try to shop some of our pitchers, and we just can't do it. Nobody wants these crap players. I know I haven't put out a video in about 2 days, and there has been like 10 sims in the past 2 days for the other players to try to go ahead and get their teams right. We have nothing to do because free agency, we're not going to spend any money. We don't have any money to spend. If we go to the front office, go to accounting, we're going to lose this. We're going to lose $300,000 on the season if we don't get into the playoffs. We have to make something happen this offseason, draft wise, to win and move into a winning position to get some playoff revenue. We need the money. That's what it comes down to, is we need the money. We're also probably going to get revenue share. We lost $183,000 because we actually made a lot of revenue last year. We need to figure something out, because otherwise we're going to be negative for the season. At least in our budget. At least in our budget. We're not going to spend 25K there, so that's going to go off the table. And hopefully our player expenses, we can move some players during the trade window, and I'm going to ask you all for some input on that too. Luckily, our budget has gone up $4.8 million this season. We'll get into that in a little bit. But the point of note here is we're not going to spend anything in the offseason, okay? It's just not going to happen. We don't have the funds to do so. We're going to ride with what we have, make some changes where applicable, and if we have to bench players, we bench players. I don't care at this point. I am over the 3 losing seasons. I'm over the nonsense. We are in a position to actually win some games, and that's what we're going to do, damn it. You'll notice I also upped my ticket prices by 25 cents to $2.10. And I think that'll be a good way to make a little bit more revenue now that we're back on track with our attendance and season tickets. So we'll see how that goes as well. That being said, let's go and look at our mail, and I want to show you a couple of things that happened. First, the Tallahassee team, Maxwell's team, they won the championship last season, and I am so bothered by that. It's this season. I have to take him out. He made a blockbuster trade at the end of the season, too, after the season ended. That bothers me because it's a really good trade, and he was able to make it work because he has good players. I don't, so we're kind of stuck. All that said, let's take a look at what we got going on here. So a couple of things happened. Number one, like I said, Chad Smart, our center fielder, Inselman, our first baseman, gone from the team. There were also 3 players that were on option years, and unfortunately, 2 of them I didn't want to retain. They retained. Why did they choose to stay playing for this team? I have no idea. We're terrible. You should not be wanting to play for this team. So let's quickly remove this 16-year-old starting pitcher. Who is this? Players possibilities. Who are you? You are what do you play? Starting pitcher. Okay, yeah. So starting pitcher. We got another international complex player, whatever. Okay. Free agent filing. We have the following free agents are available, and I will show you the free agency list at the end of this video just so you can see it. Not that we're going to sign anybody unless we can make some trades. Here we go. So first thing we got was at the end of the season, Cortez Nieves, the Atlantics from the tank. I hate to say so, but it's true. I want out of here. Please do what you can to trade me. I tried. Nobody wants his sorry behind. He's terrible, and I'm stuck with $100,000 on him. So we need to figure out a way to move Nieves. Burleson. Good news here is that he decided to not opt out. I like Burleson. He's going to be healthy for the season, and we'll have him back. The bad news is he is expensive, but the good news is he is a solid pitcher, and I'm glad that he's back on track. Rydell. He has also decided to execute, and he will be a member of our organization for another year for a winning team. I didn't like his performance. I wish he would have just opted out and stayed out, but here we are. And, of course, Chavez, the benched player in the minors. He decided to stay. I benched him. I sent him down to the minors. Why did he want to stay for the team? Because I'm paying him too much money, and he's 34, and that's why. So he's with our team, too, and I don't know what to do with him. And, yeah, that is terrible. Personal message from Mickey Draper. He informed me that we have another almost $500,000 for our budget. That's good news. It allows us to stay under the budget, and that's what we need to do. Also, what happened is 2 things. One, I decided that at the end of the season, our trainer, Nick Hussey, was not doing a good job with pitchers. I went ahead and signed a new training coach for a very affordable price. I was paying the other guy like $100K. I'm paying this guy $14,000 because he was in the free agency. He didn't have a job last season. So, important things to note here. Heal back, legendary. Prevent leg injuries, legendary. Prevent back injuries, outstanding. Look at our injuries. Shoulder is an arm, no big deal. That just happens. Arm, leg, back. Okay? So I feel like we're going to be in good position because Nick Hussey did not have the same good ratings that Eric Ferlou has. And heal back, legendary. Heal legs, outstanding. So arm injuries, prevention, excellent. Recovery is going to be a little bit difficult if we do get injured. And the fatigue recovery, I'm going to need to make sure I keep a bullpen steady because I did have outstanding fatigue recovery before. Now I just have decent. Hopefully that goes up. But at $20,000 for 5 years, if I don't like him, I can just cut him and eat $20K. I am good with that because I was paying way too much for a terrible time. I'm hoping to recover. So we need to make sure two things happen. One, we need to make sure our bullpen is fresh. Two, we need to make sure we have enough subs in our lineup. The games are compact. There's 89 games in 3 months. It's a lot happening, and we need to make sure we have enough substitutions and that we make them quick enough if things go south or people get injured. So that'll have to happen, and we just need to keep an eye on that, okay? So no big deal there. I'm confident this will be a good decision. The other thing that happened is my manager, Sam Padrick, decided to retire. I had him for another 3 seasons. I was getting mad at him, but I had him for another 3 seasons. I had to go and sign a new general manager. I signed the other guy for $75K, so I'm doing the same thing here. $75K. Had to bid a little bit more. I was in a little bit of a bidding war, so I went and got Humberto Jimenez. Personable and conventional. So I looked at the relationships as something that was important. A good relationship is a good thing. If I had too many bad relationships, I didn't sign the guy. And there were way too many managers we had with worse relationships with some players. And I didn't need more problems in the locker room. Player development would be important at a lower level. It is important for some of my prospects, so I'm going to have to keep them a little bit longer in the minors, maybe up to 24 instead of 23 for most cases. He does favor prospects, though, so we'll have to see how that kind of works out. Maybe we can still continue to call them up at a normal age. We'll look at that. Defense, he favors defense, but if I can adjust some things to favor offense a little bit more, I think we'll be okay. He favors hitting, which we need. He favors power, which we need. Favors on-base percentage. All good things. The important note here is I can't control infield shifts or sack bunts as much, but everything else I have control over. So stealing, aggressive base running, hit and run, and of course my lineups, I need that. So this was a manager I chose to pick because I have the ability to control the team, and that's what's important. So that recaps you on where we are today. We need to move Nieves. It's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to lie. The good news about all of this, outside the fact that we are struggling financially because we made some bad signings, and as a team, the good news is we have a crazy, crazy good prospect pool. We're first out of 18. We have the 9th, the 10th, and the 13th rated prospects in the league. 2 of them are in single A. Now, I have not moved up my players yet, so we've not made the transition to move players up from single A to double A to triple A. I promise this season I will be sure to go through each team early so we can look at them, and I'll be sure to show you everything we move through with, okay? So I'll make sure I do that. I apologize for not being so good with that last season. Trying to figure this out as we go with the GM mode sim and the commentary. I'll also try to figure out how I want to do the off season. It is important to note here that there's going to be a lot of nothing happening. So we're not bidding on any players. There's going to be a lot of gaps. So I don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to release during the off season. I'll try to fill the YouTube channel with other content, and then hopefully that's a good enough gap to get everybody through, and we'll come back when there's things of note. There is the draft coming up that we'll need to look at. That's next week, and that's what I want to do tonight is show you the draft list. We do have a pretty good draft pick coming up here. We have a couple of good picks, and I'm pretty happy with that because we need it. I mean, let's not lie about ourselves. We need some more prospects. We need to move the team forward. Okay, so we have the 3rd pick. We have the third in every round. Actually, we get the 3rd pick. So we have number 3 and number 21. We are in good shape. Okay, we are going to be okay. I don't know why teams are red. Oh, teams are red are the ones we control. Got it, because we're all right now commissioners because we have to look at some stuff. Okay, so the draft list looks like this. There's a lot of good players. We are going to go for batters. We are going to go for batters for sure. We have to. We have enough pitchers. We're going to be okay in pitching. I'm not even stressing that. We need some hitters, and I'm hoping to get like one solid guy we can move immediately to the AAA, grow, and move him up in the next year. I know that breaks my code, but right now we got to be in that boat. So let's go ahead and look at batters and look at batting ratings potential and look at our power. We got a couple of guys with some power, okay? So Casey Miller, Noriega, all these guys. Now, if I go over to my right-hand side here and ask my scouting director for all rounds, it will give me a list of every player that they need, that they think my team needs for the entire draft. And we got a bunch of rounds, right? I don't know how many rounds of draft we actually have. We have 10 rounds. Okay. I did this last time and I just left it alone. I said, go ahead, scout, pick stuff, and I maybe moved around 3 or 4 players. The ors and ands matter when we have multiple draft picks in a single round. We don't have that, so we don't have to worry about that. So I think what we do is we set the first round and get the guys, like line up 6 guys that we want to get right now, and then let the GM pick, or let the scouting director pick everybody else. What do you think about that? I want to definitely get 2 players that I was looking at earlier. Number 1, I want to get Casey Miller. He's not on my list, so I don't know what the scouting director sees, because Noriega is totally on my list right here, number 2. Okay, so I wanted to get him, and they think that Nate Limpscomb is better. And I don't see him on my list here. He is a center fielder. Let's pull up center fielders. And I don't even see him in the lineup here. Do you see him at all? Like, where is this guy? Let's sort by position and center field. Scrolling down. Do you see him? I don't even see him. Where's this? There he is. Okay. Let's click on him. Hang on. Info. Where does that start out? Don't know. Okay, whatever. Let's go to Nate Limpscomb, and let's see what he's looking at here. Scouting reports. Let's see. So Hernandez rates him lower, and this guy is one of the best guys for scouting that is on the market, that is in the league, period. OSA has him as a 7.67. I can see why OSA would want to draft him higher, but I don't see why Hernandez wants to. True impact potential, could be a superstar if he figures it all out. Projects slightly above average contact. Decent power. Average to plus power. Does a great job working the count, frustrating opposing pitchers. Fairly average defensive center fielder. He kind of seems just average to me, especially 5.66. And if I go to the ratings, arm is 7, range is 7, error 6. That's good. Center fielder fielding is 4. But he's super fast. Running speed 8. Stealing base is 7. Base running 7. I don't know, okay? I don't know. I will have to talk to my team of consultants. I have a couple of you now, thankfully, giving me some advice, and I appreciate it. I learned a lot in the offseason about where our team sits. And then Noriega, I want him because power, right? We're going to go for power potential, and we got him at the top of the list. It makes perfect sense to do that. The next guys on the list are all center fielders. Then we have third baseman, left fielder, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to basically remove all my pitchers. I don't want pitchers. At any point during this process, I don't want pitchers. Now, I can copy the list, okay? So we can make a list for round 1 and then copy that all the way through and make sure we get the players we want. Is that a good idea? I don't know. I know I can go like this and remove players off the list. Boom, they go away. So that's a thing. I don't know how to really work this list, but I know that I can consolidate list. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I can actually remove blank spots from the list. No problem. So I can go like this, 2 and 3, and then do consolidate all lists, and it shrinks it all together, I think. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we can make a 1 list and then let it be, and then make that the constant for everybody. A star means it's a high school player coming straight out of high school, not going to college. Okay, good. Good. We need that. So what do you think? I want your feedback. Go to the website. The link is in the description. You can see the draft list and the draft pool, I believe. If you go to players, you can see that. You have a list here of what we're looking at. I will sort by I potential. You can take a look at the top list there. I will sort by strikeout potential, or I guess avoidance. So this is avoid strikeouts. I will sort by defensive rating position. Speed. Lots of 8s. Wow. Stealing. Base running. Gap potential I didn't do, so here we go. Red means they're injured. No problem. They can get them back. Contact. Who do we draft? Give me 10 names. Everyone give me 10 names. Who do we go for and really make this a thing? I'm foregoing pitchers unless you see somebody that you think is outstanding. I'm not going to care about that right this year. We need power. We need it right now. So I need some input in that regard. Right now, I got a guy who's got a power of 6. I got a guy with a gap of 8, contact of 6. I really think we even draft this guy. He's played 3 seasons of NCAA college ball. Do we get him and just move him right up to the majors with 6.65? That's a pretty good rating. Again, let me know what you think, and we will work together and make this work. I really need to nail this draft. We need 3 solid picks out of 10, even if we get a couple of sleepers. So please give me your feedback on the draft list. Now, what do we do here? There's a couple of other things we have to deal with. I moved up Castillo from the... What? Why is he in 2 places? Oh, I changed that. Here's the roster. Okay, I didn't move him up because I was messing with this earlier. So Castillo is the only center fielder we have in the minors that is in AAA to come up. We have a couple of other minor leaguers that are ready to move up, and then we have nobody in. We have Perdomo, who says who's got a great upside still. He's going to be a 4.66 if we do well. OSA says he's going to be a 4.63, and it's kind of we got to really work him. I don't think he's ready for majors yet, for sure. Not yet. There's also an ace up the hole. I was talking to one of my consultants, okay, and there is a particular position that we need to fill that for the catcher that Fountain and Pena aren't cutting it, okay. So we might make that call as well. I don't want to give it away just yet. I want to pause for the cause on that, okay, and see what we're going to do and just get some feedback. And I don't want to give too much away for the people who are watching the videos right off the bat, but we're going to make that move very soon. I don't know when the draft is also. I should mention that. It might be the next sim, and if it is, I apologize, and I will have to quickly read your feedback and make that call. I'll get this video up ASAP as soon as I finish it. So that's happening. In the next video, I'm also going to move up all the players. So the players that are good are going to move up through the list. Boop, 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 boop. We're going to make some cuts here at AAA level of players who are not ready and are not going to be ready to move forward, especially at 25, 26. We should see where they're at, and if they're not good enough, we're going to have to cut them, okay? We can bring in 22 players from the international complex that we could try out in the minors and move up from there. I think that's a good idea. Give me your feedback on cutting. I think we do a mass cut, and we cut the fat and move forward. We have a lot of talent here in the minors that can come up in AA. And we looked at them and we saw their stats, and they did really well. We go back to home, the minor league team was 42-40. That's not bad when you're giving people equal playing time no matter what their positions are, right? So the important thing to note there is we also had a lot of injuries. We'll have to look at that. If you played enough games and you're of age, you move up. That's how I'm doing it, as long as your stats are good and your potential is still good. If your potential is down, you're getting cut. Anybody in 2s and 3s in current potential is going down. By the time you make it to the AAA, I want your potential or your current ratings to be at least a 4. If they're not, you're going, because it's just not worth having you there unless you're a younger kid taking up space. We need talent now. So that's what we're going to go for. So like I said, in the next video, that's what you'll see. Players moving up. How do we fill the center field role? Do we go and get somebody? Do we draft somebody and put them right in there? We need to fill that role. I don't know how to do that. Jim Weiss is a backup. If I look at his ratings, we also lack veteran leadership. I don't know what to do about that. Someone tell me how to solve it. I brought in Cantu. Cantu is 35. Shouldn't he be a veteran leader? Shouldn't he? I'm as confused as you guys are. So let me know there. Weiss, I was looking at the ratings. He can't play center field. He's a left fielder. And then Hymas, he can play center field a little bit, but then what do we do about right field? Do we bring up Danny Curtis, who has a 6 rating in right field and is rated all 4s? I think that puts us back in the same position we were before. So what do we do? What do we do? Okay. Give me some feedback. Look at the players in the link in the description to the website where you can see all the players. Give me some feedback because we desperately need it. I also sent back down Flig. He was not able to hold it up there. He might actually get cut with an eye of 3. It's obviously not going to get better if I look at his scouting. 4.43, and OSA agrees. I think that goes away because, I mean, power is going to go up to a 5, but 5 is league average. 5 is major league average. Overall poor hitter, no focus, blah, blah, blah. So I think we cut him. 4 contact, 4, maybe 5 power, 3 potential. I think he goes. And at 26, I think we have seen enough of him. Looking at his stats, it wasn't anything remarkable. He was a 281 in AAA, but 268. Was that enough at-bats? I don't know. Look at the stats in the link and let me know. Zapata, same thing. He was up here. Do we move him up? Looking at his ratings, he's going to be potentially a 5.45. That's a little bit better, but not really. And OSA thinks his eye is going to be a 3. And his power is currently a 3. There's a lot of question marks to fill still, guys. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what the right answer is. So please give me some feedback. I will fill you in as we move forward here. In the next video should be the draft and will be the players moving up and being cut. Give me feedback on Twitter at F5Penguin. Also on all over social media. You can find me on Blab and Snapchat and Twitch, where I am currently, I just finished on Monday because E3 was on this week. I finished a pilot episode doing some gaming news and maybe some gaming down the future, but not on our show that I did, on a pilot episode for the Xbox community team. I might, if everything goes well, might end up working with them in some capacity on their channel. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to take that video and actually make it tomorrow's video here on the YouTube channel so you can watch it in its entirety. I think it was amazing, and I think you will all enjoy it as well. And again, I'm looking for your feedback in all these aspects. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you are liking the video. I appreciate it immensely. It will help me grow. And give me some feedback. Do you like this? Do you hate this? What are we going to do with the Brooklyn Atlantics in year 4 of the Premier League Baseball GM Mode Sim? I hope I have those answers for you in the next video. Until then, take care.